غياس البحر. يهيم القراصنة منذ 3 قرون في مدينة الجزائر. تراهم بأذرع موشومة وجلود أحرقتها الشمس، يقفون عند الشاطئ يبللون أقدامهم فلا تنمو لهم جذور في البر. سلبوا سيوفهم وحطمت سفنهم، جعلوا من قصورهم متاحف يسكنها الريح، ووزعت مدافعهم على ساحات بلدات فرنسية ضجرة. نسي الناس أسماءهم، منعوا من ركوب البحر، وتفرقوا على الميناء والشواطئ، حمالين ومضاربين وشحاذين، يرقصون في الأعراس الشعبية ويبيتون في العراء. سلالة ملعونة لا تموت ولا تتكاثر. So, my name is Salah BADIS. I come from Algeria, this country in North Africa, and I'm poet, writer, and translator too. I think the best thing of being a writer in Algeria or in similar countries as mine, it's that you have this chance to recreate time, recreate reality, and being a little bit close to all those beautiful souls and great women and men who have been writers during the history of the country. The worst thing, I think that I will say that maybe it's more material, because you can't make living of being a writer, even if you are a famous writer in Algeria. So that's the best and the worst. It's the big country in the continent and in the region. So you have the sea, you have the desert, you have the forest, you have the mountains, you have the lakes. So I will try to talk about myself. I think the best thing in Algeria, or in Algiers, the capital, the city where I live, is that we are near to the sea, the south coast of the Mediterranean, and it's like a big room with 3 walls, where the 4th wall is open, so you can decompress everything with the sea. The food, I miss the food, especially here in Iowa. The food is great in Algeria. And the light. Yes, there is like a certain degree of the light in Algeria. I'm not a photographer, but I love the light there. That's it. So I began writing since the age of 13, 14 maybe. I'm 24 now, and I talk a lot in my poetry. I have published a poetry book, Ship's Weariness. I've published the book in Arabic. It's not all translated in English, just few poems. And I'm translator too. I translate from French to Arabic, and I do a lot of stuff in writing, like journalism and non-fiction pieces. I think that, as I said in my poetry, I talk a lot about pirates, because we have a history with pirates in my city and in the precedent centuries. And I'm thinking about the origin of the word piracy. It was this French philosopher Bourdieu who said that piracy, it came from something like piratas, which means trying to. This is the meaning, like the root of the word. So trying to. And I think the writing is trying to. It's the only field which I felt like I can do something. I can try something. المحاولة in Arabic, they said. So the pleasure is like when you are, because, for example, I'm writing short stories now in Iowa City. I'm working on a book of short stories, and there is a lot of draft of the same story. So this is a difficult part that you are stuck in with a sentence with a lot of verbs, and you are saying to yourself, it's not acceptable that this character is doing all this thing just in one sentence, and you are blocked with the style, you are blocked with the story. I think that the pleasure of the writing is after a lot of work, after a lot of hard work, you will see like you will see a way to walk or to follow for this story, and it's like very short moment, it's like for seconds. It's not the muse or the inspiration, it's not about that, but maybe you were very exhausted with thinking about the story, and so you didn't have this way clear up to you. So those are the small good things, as the title of Raymond Carver's story, about the writing, that small gifts, that I did it, I get it. So it's very ephemeral, but it's okay. I can deal with this. You know, because we have big part of our literature which is francophone, due to the French colonization of 130 years, and very beautiful part of our literature is was written in French and still. So we have this influence from the French culture of the public duty, of the social duty, of the state, the republic, as a main, the central role of this thing, and the writer as a public speaker, as a public leader. But no, I don't think so that a writer should have like this public duty. Or maybe like we can take another French part who are the surrealists. They said that maybe we can have a duty to the society. It's make it crazy, make it more close to the dream, make it more beautiful, but it's not like an obligatory or mandatory thing, because you are writing. You are not writing to change things or to educate people. Even the beautiful poems of the nations in all the world, which are educated or learned in the schools, they began like that after 3 centuries or 4 centuries after the death of their poets. So no, I would say no. The public should write, not the public. The writer should write with no mandatory thing vis-a-vis the society. And I think of this because one of our great writers in Algeria, he is Katib Yassin, and he used to work under the French colonization. He used to work like public writer in the administration and he was poet too. So he said, I am public writer, but I'm poet too, and the poet is a boxer, who box. So you need to be a boxer, not a public writer. That's very important question for a person who comes from Algeria, because due to the socialist heritage of our country, of our nation, the state remains like in a central position in all the fields, economy, culture, etc., etc. And from this experience, I can say no. I'm not liberal. I'm not a fan of capitalism, but I don't think that the state should enter in all these micmac of culture. Of course, it can helps and give found fundraising project and big things. But I don't think that the the presence of the state in this field of culture, it's it's healthy for writers or for artists or for cinema, you know, because there is a lot of problems due to that. There is a lot of censorship. There is a lot of censorship in writing history via the arts. So it's good to have the money from them, but it's just the money, not the sizer, you know. Two things or two texts. The first is a novel, or because we are in America, is a novella because it's short, by an Algerian author. Uh, his name is Malik Haddad. Malik Haddad, double D. He wrote in French. He was poet and novelist too, and he has very beautiful poetry. Like, and I love his titles like "Listen and I Will Call You" or "The Evil is in Danger." But he has this first novel, or maybe it's not the first, but he has this novel which called "Le quai aux fleurs ne répond plus." Le quai aux fleurs ne répond plus. It's like, how we can translate it in English maybe. The bank of the flowers don't respond or don't answer, because it's a small neighborhood in Paris on the La Seine River. So it's very beautiful novel. It was written during the Algerian Revolution between 1954 and 1962. It was the Algerian Revolution. He wrote this novel, and it's very beautiful. Very beautiful style, very sharp. It was like, it's very beautiful prose. So, and because he stopped writing after the independence, because he used to write in French, and he didn't know Arabic, and he said that, okay, the French language, it's my exile, so he stopped writing. And he is not well known, and he is not translated to English or other languages. The other text is a poem, a long poem about an Algerian poet. His name is Jean Sénac. The title of the poem is Citizen of Beauty. Citizens of Beauty. He is translated, Jean Sénac. I saw that the American universities has translated like 2 collected poems. He has like a big oeuvre, but you can find this poem in English, Citizens of Beauty. And when I've read this poem, I was like maybe 18, due to a friend. She gave it to me, and it was like, it was beautiful. Like those trees, you maybe you can't see them, but like this color, red, yellow. It's very beautiful. Citizens of Beauty by John Sénac, and Le quai aux fleurs ne répond plus by Malik Haddad. So I think that the first thing that I had in my mind when I came to Iowa, it was 2 things. So the first one, it was the last page of On the Road, Jack Kerouac, of course, when he said, "I'm thinking about Iowa, this country where people are letting the little boys crying," something like that. And he said that the country of Winnie the Pooh. I don't know why. But the second thing, of course, was Raymond Carver. He used to teach here, he used to be student here, and I love his stories. What's on my shelf now? I'm reading. I discovered like 2 important people: Dennis Johnson, Jesus' son, and a friend, American friend here. He is translator. He borrowed me the collected stories of Barry Hanna. So I'm discovering this guy too. And about Iowa and the writers, it's a great time because like in very short period, I had like very deep friendships and people from around the world. And even if we communicate in English and we write each one with his language, but we are talking and discussing every night at the Foxhead, of course, our writings, our struggle with the poems or the stories or the novel. So every night there is like a count about the day. What did what did you do? Nothing. Or okay, I've wrote like 3 paragraphs. I'm good. I'm happy. Something like that. So I wish that the river not gonna float because I live across the river, and I wish that the fall continue to be fall here because it's very beautiful. And thank you for this interview, and the questions are very smart, and that's it.